Are we live? Is it go time? Hey everyone, what's up? How you doing? I'm going to hang on a minute to see, because for some reason, I do these lives every week now, multiple times a week, and I always get something wrong, and it's just this. I've got another computer open here, so I'm on one desktop. I've got my main Mac. Side note, this is like my baby, right? And it's actually been stepped on. Can you see that there's a dent in my baby? See it? Okay, that's my main laptop that's my machine. Then I've got a MacBook Air in case this one dies. And then I have an iMac, a big one. And then I'm on a secondary screen. Like, it is so excessive I don't even have to say what you do as an online marketer, what I do as an online marketer, because I'm not saying it makes it more productive, but I will tell you, let me just make sure that my team's not yelling at me that my volume's off or anything. We're good. I will tell you, once you start working on a dual screen, especially if you have bigger screens, like let's say you're working on a 13-inch Mac, once you start working on a bigger screen, you are not going to go back. So if anyone wants to know about my setup, if that's something that you're interested in, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to share that with you, because I'm telling you, it's game changing. Totally not the topic, but I will talk tech forever. The other thing is a proper mouse, which clearly has foundation on it. Makeup, because I don't wear makeup, but I put a little foundation here and here before I come and do this. I do this for you. Anyway, let's jump. If you want to talk about tech, leave me a comment below. I'd be happy to share all my tech setup and everything that I do. Let me throw my computers off my lap now. Let's get into what it is that I want to talk to you guys about. Let me just see if anyone is jamming out with me right here. Say what's up. Say what's up. Just one of them days. I think we're, okay, cool. You don't want to hear me sing? All right, let's talk about emails. That's why we're here. If you've been following along the GSD challenge, awesome. You have your lead magnet done. You've built your opt-in page and your thank you page. I apologize about last week's video. I shared it. Here's another note. You cannot post a video in a private group and then share it to another group because if they're not members in that group, then no one's going to be able to see it. So I learned that lesson the hard way. I'm sorry, my team is back in action. I no longer have control over such things, so everybody should be seeing this video. My apologies about that, but we have pulled the video and uploaded it, so it's all there. All right, let's talk about emails. Emails are the glue of your business. I'm not being dramatic when I say, if you don't get these emails right, it is not going to happen. Emails are how you're building your relationship with people. So don't just write emails and create an opt-in and do a lead magnet because that's what Steph says you have to do to build an online business, or that's how you have to build an online business. You have to actually think about what's going on here. So I want to have a real conversation about what goes down in these emails. This is where, let's say you give someone the most incredible, you created this awesome lead magnet, it's this amazing guide, it's this amazing webinar, it's this amazing challenge, right? Let's say that you create that, all of a sudden, right? They download it in their inbox and then your emails suck, or heaven forbid, there's no emails, right? I'm on Pinterest all the time getting free resources, free guides, free stuff. I'm on YouTube consuming free information, free videos that people are spending forever on to create. If there's no follow-up with that brand, if there's no constant, hey, right? If that's not happening, then these people are not going to remember you. It doesn't matter how amazing your program is that you want to sell them, or how amazing your lead magnet was on the front end that you've offered them for free. So we got to get these emails right. So here's the thing, and here's the challenge. If you have never done an email sequence before, your challenge is going to be to get this done in 1 week. We need to hold ourselves accountable to actually making these deadlines happen, because if you're anything like me, you hate to write. I hate to write, so I need deadlines. So if you are doing it for the first time, then please get your emails done in 1 week. If you have an email sequence and after hearing this today, you're kind of like, meh, I got to make it better, then your goal is going to be to revamp it, to make it better, to bring it up to snuff so that it's awesome by this time next week. So give me a virtual fist pump. Let me know below that, yes, you're going to get it done and that I can hold you accountable and that you're going to stay engaged if you need any help or anything else. Okay. So I want to talk about how many emails you need according to which type of opt-in you have. Here's the thing. If you're doing a 3-day challenge, right? So let's say you are doing a 3-day challenge and then you want to upsell them after. The length, how many emails you have is going to change versus someone who's doing a PDF download, because the first 3 days in your email challenge would be delivering that challenge, right? So your first email would be, hey, welcome to the challenge. I'm so pumped that you're here. Here's how to get started. Here's what to do, right? If it was a PDF or a guide or a resource, it would be, hey, thanks so much for downloading the guide. Here it is. So let's quickly talk about that first email. When someone is opting into your lead magnet, and I'm, by the way, zero judgments because I've made all these mistakes, right? So through learning and through messing up in my business, I'm sharing with you what I have to change based on what works. So if those of you are going to be listening to me and being like, I saw you do that, I'm like, okay, it's different now. So for example, what I'm talking about is inside the first email, someone just opted into, and they entered their name and their email address to receive something that for free. They don't want to know about you. They don't really care about you. They just want what they opted in for. So keep this email short and sweet, and you want to make them feel like, wow, that was really easy. There was nothing else to it, because I just downloaded something yesterday while I was in bed on my phone, and it was like numerology report, don't ask. And then I opted in to get my customized numerology report. Half of me is like, I really want this numerology report. The second part of me was like, what's the funnel, right? So I opted in, and then it gave me like this whole email with all these other things I have to do. And I'm like, wait, I opted in because I wanted to get the numerology report. So just give them exactly what it is that they opted in for and make it short and sweet. It's not about you. It's about you delivering so that you're meeting their expectations. That lead magnet that you've already created has to really wow them. We're not going to get into that. That's a conversation we've already had. So if you need to catch up on the videos, feel free to scroll on through and find the videos. There's all kinds of videos on lead magnets and that stuff. So if it's a challenge, welcome to day 1. Here's how this works. You need to tell them exactly how it works, what's going to go down. Day 2 is delivering the challenge. Day 3 is delivering the challenge. Day 4 would be, hey, how did it go? And this is where you would start your nurturing emails. This is where you would start providing content, more value bombs. If it's a PDF, day 1, you deliver it. Day 2, you follow up. Day 3, hey, I thought of something. I also wanted to tell you about so-and-so. Nowhere, and I'm just going to jump onto the big mistake that I see people making all the time, the costly mistake. Before email 4 or 5, right? So day 1, day 2, day 3, right after the other, and then you can start spacing them a day or so apart, making your email sequence at least, 5 nurture emails, and feel free to comment if I'm losing you, because there's a delivery email. And then there's nurture emails. If you're doing a challenge, it's a 7-day challenge, it's a 3-day challenge, your first 3 emails or 7-day emails, depending on the length of your challenge, are going to be delivery emails of that challenge. Yes, they're nurturing, but after that, I still want you to put about 5 nurturing emails. The goal of those nurturing emails is to show up with value, is to show up with love, to speak to them in a way that lets you know that you understand what they're going through. So don't just write these emails because you're following templates or you're doing stuff. Really think about it. The person that opted in for this lead magnet, the person that raised their hand and said, yes, I want this guide. Yes, I want this report. They've just given you so much information. Am I freezing again? Because on my screen, I'm frozen. And this time it's a really ugly face. We're good? Okay. I think we're okay. Okay, so they've already raised their hand and told you that, yes, they want what it is that you are offering, because otherwise they would never be on your email list. So I really need you to go through the work and talk to them in that language. This is where your copy is so important, right? So really showing up as yourself, really showing them that you understand what's going on, and not just saying, for example, if you're in fitness or weight loss, not just saying, okay, so you want to lose weight. Like, talk about how much it freaking sucks to not know what to do, to be living in your body without energy and not knowing where the heck to start. How annoying it is to be scrolling through Instagram and seeing all these, fit people, preparing their Tupperwares and drinking their cleansing teas and all these testimonials, and you're just like, this never works for me. I can never stick to anything. I'm hungry. I'm hangry, and all this stuff sucks. Right? So think about the language that you want to talk to your audience in, right? So be human, be yourself, right? Whatever your style is, make sure that you have those 5 emails that are Just value bombs. Hey, I'm popping into your inbox today because I wanted you to watch this video, right? Let me know what you think, right? Get communication going with them. You want to bounce them from your emails to communicate with you. They want to reply. You want to get them to your Facebook group, communicate with you. Then after you've taken the lead from cold, right? I have all these visual funnels if you guys follow my stuff. So I'm like seeing my pictures, and that's why you're seeing me do these, because this is like my diagrams. So you're taking them from cold, Facebook ad traffic or traffic where they don't know, like, or trust you. They just want your lead magnet. Whatever you promised them you were going to give them on your opt-in page, whatever you promised you were going to give them on your opt-in page, they've entered their name and email, and all they want is to get that. Then you're going to follow up, talk to them, make them like you, make them know, like, and trust you, make them know, love, and trust you. Show up with value. That's the constant poking. Right? That's the constant brand recognition. Then you start after that, when you feel you've taken them from cold to warm, hopefully gotten them, some face-to-face time, going live, getting them to watch your lives, having them see you on video, link them to a video where it's your face, right? Build a relationship, right? And then you're going to start your sales emails from then on. Okay? So your sales emails, jump into that point. The number of emails depends on the price point of your offer. And I'm going to throw this whole thing for a loop right now, whether you like it or not, because it's just the truth, and it's my job to tell you the truth. All right, so let me see if there's any questions so far. I feel like I don't see the questions until after, and then everyone is like, oh, I have questions. For some reason, I don't see them. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this whole thing for a loop right now. And if you're brand spanking new, I just want you to hear this for the first time. If you've been doing this for a while, cool, ask me the questions that you need to ask me. So we're talking about your automated email sequence. We're talking about an email sequence that is triggered after someone enters their name and their email into an opt-in page to receive a freebie. Now you're going to deliver the freebie. That's the first thing. Now you're going to build a nurturing relationship. That's the center of this sequence. And then you're going to transition into your sales email. So it kind of has three different sections. Give them what they wanted, below their minds. Make sure that they're getting to know, love, and trust you with all that stuff we just talked about, nurturing them, taking them from cold to hot, or cold to warm, right? Hopefully hot if there's videos in there and they're really seeing value. Give people value, give them your best stuff, right? And then the final sequence is your sales sequence. Where I'm gonna throw this whole thing for a loop is I really want you to understand traffic temperature, right? Those of you who are working with me in my Build Your Empire program, you know how difficult it is to launch a funnel. The idea of sending someone to an opt-in page, building that lead magnet, getting them into your email sequence, building a relationship with them, sending to a sales page that is launched and completed, that has a call to action, like, that's a lot of work. That's a funnel. But what I need you guys to really understand is that in my mind, that's like, when it comes to the whole world of online marketing and how this really works, that is still kind of a cold lead. If it's not a webinar or it's not a video series and they haven't seen you. So what I'm trying, or a challenge can take a cold lead. So let's just think about what makes sense here. And a lot of you are getting frustrated because you have lead magnets out there and then you've got your automated sequence and no one's booking calls or no one's taking action, and I get you. But let's just think about what's logical here, right? So you're sending someone to a PDF or a guide, for those of you who are doing lead magnets that are PDFs and guides, which I love and have, and those are gangbusters. So someone's entering their name and their email. They don't know you. They don't know your brand. They don't know the value. They just want what you offer them as a lead magnet. So people are only opening up, you're lucky if they're opening up 30, you're lucky if your emails open at 30%. So let's say realistically these days, they're opening at 25, 20%. Right? If you're falling below 20, we're going to get into that actually, never mind. We're talking about your open rates. But the point here is that only 20 to 25, maybe 30% of people, 40, 50 if you're lucky, are going to be opening up your emails. Your first one, of course, should have a much higher open rate because that's delivering what it is that they opted in for. Like, why did you opt in if you're not going to get it? Happens. So that one should be 50, 60, 70, 80. But the point I'm making is a small percentage of people that actually go through your funnel actually open up your emails. Right? So the goal of this email sequence is to take cold traffic and warm them up. And now when we start sending them to our sales sequence, right, if only 20% of people are actually clicking on our sales emails, right, and a smaller percentage of people are actually clicking to our sales page, we still have kind of cold traffic because we have a small amount of cold traffic. So the way I want you, I don't want you to not sell and not pitch. That's not what I'm suggesting. But I want you to consider changing the way that you look at this when you zoom out and look at what makes sense. Because to me, the way that I've seen this show up in my business is I have a lead magnet and it goes to a welcome email. I deliver what it is they asked for. I have that middle portion where I'm showing up with value. What do they need? How can I serve? How can I show my personality? How can I get them to come on some sort of training with me? How can I make this happen? Right? So then I send them through this nurture sequence. I have sales emails, but my sales emails are just, a call to action. I might talk about my programs. I might have them book a sales call with my team, but I'm not relying. Here's the kicker, guys. Listen up. I'm not relying on making the bulk of my income from my automated email sequence from a PDF guide lead magnet, right? Because that to me is still cold. But I do want them to see me make an offer. So I do have sales emails, but I don't expect, and I'm doing this because this is the part of my funnel I'm talking about, the sales emails from my automated email sequence, right? A certain number of people will take action, but what I want to let you guys know, and I want to be honest with you about that, is that percentage of people will be really small. But the reason why you have to do this in the first place is because, one, you need the lead. You need them to get to know you. You need to start poking them and saying, hey, I'm a coach. This is what I do. I understand you. I'm showing up with value. Then you want them to see your sales emails because you want to say, hey, I'm a coach. I also have a business. I also work with people and I get them a lot of results, right? They're not opening up all your sales emails. So if you're like, I've been sending 4 sales emails. Well, one person might have only opened 1 and not clicked. So have they really gotten to know you? So to bring this whole point full circle, the way I look at these automated email sequences from a PDF or a lead magnet, and I want to talk about webinars and challenges in a second, from a PDF or a lead magnet is it's great because the leads are cheaper. It's a lot cheaper to get a lead off of a lead magnet than it is a webinar or a challenge. So we need them because that's how you can get the lead, introduce yourself, do a great job getting to know them, show them that you're a business. You'll still, make some sales if everything in those emails is right. But then all those people that went through that automated email sequence, now they're still on your email list and you've already paid to acquire that lead. So now they're in, I call this your general email bucket, right? So they're on your email list. They may be done the sequence, but they're still on your email list. And the language that your email provider uses is going to determine, what it's called. If it's, with Infusionsoft, this is done by tags. With Aweber, it's lists. So it's all list, segmentation. But when the automated sequence is done, they don't fall off your email list. You still have access to them. So this is where it's your job to continue the relationship, right? This is where it's your job to broadcast, to send them content, to show up with value, right? So this is the difference between the automated email sequence. The automated email sequence finishes when the emails are complete, right? Then they're on your email list, and now once a week at least, at a minimum, that's what I'm expecting from you, you broadcast, right? So all these live videos that I do, we pull them, I write a little blurb, this is what I talked about, and I broadcast my list. These emails are so much more powerful, in my opinion, than the automated sequences, especially for those of us who are personal brands, because we can talk about it's live and it just makes it feel better, right? Because you want to communicate in your list in such a way so that they build a relationship and they get to know you, right? So if I'm talking about my day or what I did on the weekend or how I'm feeling or how I'm cranky or how whatever, right? If I'm talking about those things, that's live, right? And that just gives you that human relationship, that human component, and you can continue to add value without asking for anything in return. So your job now is to do that no matter what, content, value, all the time, right? And then what you do is send all those people that have finished the automated email sequence, they're on your email list, you're nurturing them, you're showing up with value, you're sending out emails once a week, no matter what, you're showing up, you're live, you're adding value. And then what you do is you send them all through a live launch sequence. And that, my friends, is where the magic happens. It all happens in the live launch sequences. I don't know. So you grow your email list, they're in a bucket. Live launch would be, for example, July 1 to 7, I'm going to send out 7 emails promoting my ABC program. And this is where you would take all your emails on your list, minus the people who bought, and you would broadcast your live launch saying, hey, it's Monday, I have a new program to announce. And then this is where it's easier because you have more scarcity. You can mirror your social media with your email sequences, and we can get into the conversation of live launch after. What I wanted to really, really hit home is that you need to understand that the automated email sequence is urgently, where am I going with this? It's uber importante. You can't miss it. Obviously, I can't ever find my words. I'm not even going to try to explain that. You cannot do without it because you need the lead and you need to nurture them and they need to know about you and your business. And you got to poke, show up with value, build a relationship. But don't expect that to be the bulk of your business. Expect to have to do the work once they're in the bucket to nurture them and then send them through a live launch because the temperature now has significantly increased and you'll take them from warm to hot if you do a good job. Awesome. That's the difference between email sequences and email broadcasts. What to avoid at all costs is pitching too soon. I see this a lot of time. People are like, hey, here's a lead magnet. By the way, I'm going to give you 30% off my program. I don't know you. I don't like you. I don't trust you. I didn't even get your lead magnet yet. Right? So this is online marketing. You guys are in the business of building relationships and showing up with value first. So please don't do that. I see that way too much. For me, it's really annoying. Don't be so aggressive. You need to prove yourself, to prove that you know what it is that they need, to prove that you're able to follow up, to prove that, hey, you just wanted something for free. Give them that something for free, show up with value, and build that relationship before you go ham with your pitch. All right, so in terms of your pitch emails, again, how many of them, it depends on the price point of your program. So if it's a lower ticket offer, you can do like 4 emails. If it's after an automated email sequence while it's still cold traffic, I would really encourage you to stay like 4 or 5 and then just go into nurturing. Once you're like, let's say you have a program price point like mine, that's at a price point of $1,500. I have a 2-week launch. So I launch for 14 days. I think I send like 20 something emails, but that's to warm traffic after they've gone through a nurture only email sequence with a small sales thing where it's like, hey, book a call, or hey, if you're interested. I'm not selling. Then I'm nurturing, showing up with value. And then I take them through a 2-week sequence, but we can talk about live launch sequences on another time. Let me know, comments below, if that's something you want to talk about. All right. So the almighty subject line, guys. You could write the most insane email ever. This is a simple point, but if they're not opening up the email, they're never going to get to read your content, and they're never going to get to that link inside, which likely is going to be your offer. So the subject line is something that has to be disruptive. It's something that has to be good. It has to be intriguing. So the best way to kind of wrap your head around this is to, when you're in the grocery store and you're looking through magazines and stuff, what catches your attention? What makes you want to pick up the magazine? When you're getting emails, screenshot. Right? Subject lines that you love. Start looking at this kind of stuff. Like, don't just kind of write this awesome email and then like fly your subject line, because it has to be good. Watch your open rates, right? Watch your subject lines. I have the most random subject lines that open. So I use them. And the ones that I'm like, that one is amazing, nobody opens. So leave it to the data. Always leave it to the data. So when it comes to the numbers, guys, it's hard, right? Because email open rates are going down a little bit, right? So as all these people are emailing and people are getting inundated with emails. So you definitely want to strive to get over 20%, right? Especially if you're a new brand. So here's where this goes wrong. If someone opted into your email list to get a lead magnet and you didn't provide what it is that they wanted, like they're not impressed with it, they're not going to open up your emails, right? So you just have to look at the data and you just have to unemotionally say, maybe they didn't get what they wanted, because if they were impressed with what they got, they would be opening my emails, right? So you need to just look at this whole thing like the numbers game that it is, and notice that if something is dropping, like let's say you get really good open rates, like you're at 30s and 35s and 28s, and all of a sudden you're like 19, and then you're back to 30. Well, it could be the subject line on that 19% email, or maybe a little bit the email before, but in that case, it would be the subject line, right? But let's say you got you had your lead magnet, that email opened at like 60%, and then the next email opened up 10%. Guess what? The email where you delivered your lead magnet, and likely the lead magnet, depending on how many people actually clicked it, that did not meet their expectation because they don't want to continue a know, like, trust relationship with you. That's not that you're not good enough. That's that the email, the content in your email didn't meet their expectation, or it's the wrong people that are getting the content that you're giving to them. Because if it's not relevant to what it is that they actually need, they're not going to continue. And that's why the type of traffic you send is really important. That's also a whole other conversation. But I just want you to monitor your subject lines, to monitor your open rates, to make sure that you're getting those open rates. Because here's the thing. You're going to spend, let's say you spend $100, let's say you get 100 leads, you spend a couple $100 to get those 100 leads on Facebook ads. Those 100 people come through your email list. Now, a week later, you're down to 20 people opening up your emails. So it makes a big difference if you take that 20% to 25% to hopefully 30%, and that is all inside your open, your subject lines and the content of the quality of your content. Okay, your click-through rates. Don't fall below 1%. So your click-through rates, for anyone who doesn't know, are the number of people that are clicking the links inside your email. So you want to get between 1 and 3. Anything above 3 in my world is awesome. Don't fall below 1%. Don't do it. All right, so we've talked about how many emails to send, what to absolutely avoid at all freaking costs. We've talked about your pitch and how far apart they should be, the difference between email automation sequences and broadcast, your subject line. We've covered everything that I want to cover. There's a question here. Our lead magnets have about 40 to 60 conversion rate. That's amazing. Landing page visitors to opt in. That's awesome. What is a good sales conversion rate after nurturing email sequence, lead magnet opt-ins to those purchasing the initial offer at the end? Right. So when it's off of an automated email sequence, it's tough because it depends on the email sequence and how warm it is, right? So I expect a warm list if, in the health, I think you're in health and fitness or health and wellness. I don't know what your niche is. I expect for my clients that they get anywhere from, a 1 to 3% of their email list to take action, but that email list has to be warm. So I expect about 1 to 3% of the email list to take action. So of course it depends on so many things. It depends on the price point, depends on the offer, depends on how does your offer show up, right? Is it something that they want, right? It depends on a lot of things. But if you're winning all the steps and you have the right people looking at the right offer, the offer impresses them, the email copy is good, all those things, yeah, you can get 1 to 3% is usually what I would expect. That covers emails. That's it. That's all, folks. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Let me know. Give me a virtual handshake that you are going to be doing this. Make your emails better. If your language is meh, if you don't know that you're really connecting and engaging and having those conversations with your audience through your email sequence, then go back in and make them better. Because if your emails are not connecting and building a relationship, nothing is going to work. If it's your first time writing an email sequence, don't freak out. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. The goal this time next week is just to have it done. Have it done. You can always make it better. So if you have one done already, I want you to blow it out of the water and make it better. If you have never done, why do I keep doing this? Like, what's the point? It's like you guys can see that I'm like holding funnels in my hands. So I want you guys all to have an email sequence. Let me know. Yes, below that you're going to GSD and get it done. And of course, I'm here to help and support you. May you need me. May you need anything. Have a wonderful day.